Hey you guys, quick video here just comparing a couple of different sets of 45-degree backup sights. I personally was going through this trying to figure out what to outfit all my ARs with, and I figured why not shoot a video to help some other people out. Because something just kind of interesting came along recently. So I was a big fan of these Ozark mountain flip-up sights. I think they're aluminum with some probably steel components. And they're pretty handy, they're nice looking, the fit and finish looks pretty good, but you've got to push them obviously to pop them up, and I didn't like that. When they're on the rifle they're a little bit easier, but they pop up like this, and then when you want to put them back down it's kind of a two-handed job. Put it there. So I then switched to the Ozark Mountain fixed sights, which I like also, and I'm still running these on a couple of my rifles. But what I don't like about these is how big and bulky they are. I wish they would have filed down the edges here. I suppose I could do that with a Dremel, but I wish that they would have been manufactured a little more streamlined. I think they could lighten these up considerably if they're going to be on the rifle all the time and they're going to always be in the upright position. So I just stumbled across these on Amazon the other day. These look like a composite type of flip-up sight. And they're not made by Magpul, they're like some anonymous, miscellaneous Chinese brand. But they were like $14, and I figure, why not give them a go? If I don't like them, Amazon has a great return policy. So let me move these out of the way so you can see a little bit better. But these looked really interesting. I don't know how to describe it. They're the kind of plastic that you might see on a Kel-Tec rifle, if that makes sense, or a Kel-Tec pistol. It doesn't feel like Glock plastic, but it also doesn't feel like milk bottle plastic. It's kind of almost like a fiber-filled kind of feeling and texture to it. Fit and finish is pretty good. I would have liked if they would have sanded down the edges a little bit, because I could feel that this would probably cut you if you were to quickly move your hand across it, but it's a real minor complaint. I mean, they feel pretty good. There's a fairly confident switching back and forth. It feels like there's probably a little spring-loaded ball inside there and a detent to make sure that it snaps into place, because you can see that it's not loosey-goosey. I like that a lot. Adjustments to the side windage feel a lot like they would on a standard A2, so nothing really good or bad there. You've got to, of course, push them to flip them up. And it looks like, well, it's not a two-handed job to put it down. That's good. It's a little crunchy to get it to pop up, but there you go. And so they're nearly all composite. The only thing that I see that looks like it's metal is, of course, the bar and screw here. There's a spring, this button over here, and then this piece over here. And this is, I'm kind of nitpicking here, but I don't particularly like the color of this. I wish they would have made it black. It's sort of gunmetal gray, appropriately enough, I guess, but it's more of like a unfinished kind of metal. Let's take a look and see how much lighter these are, because I think that's going to be, for me, the fit and finish of these is awfully similar to the fit and finish of these. I think these look a little nicer, but I don't really care how things look. I care more about how they function, and certainly if you're going to carry them around, I'd like them to be lightweight. So let's see the difference between these two. So this is I'll talk about these as the composite plastic. So front sight is 1.2 ounces. Rear sight is 1.4 ounces, 1.3 ounces, it just adjusted. The two of them together, because you're always going to pretty much run them together, is going to be 2.3 ounces, or, if you like, 67 grams. And actually, when I'm measuring stuff this small, I really prefer grams, so 67 grams. The front sight for the metal 45-degree sight, the front sight is 1.6 ounces. The rear is 2 ounces on the nose, and running them together is 3.6 ounces. Or 103 grams. So let's just compare apples and oranges here, or apples and apples. 105 grams versus 70 grams. is the difference there. It actually is kind of fluctuating between 69 and up to 71, and now it's kind of stabilized at 71. So let's go ahead, 71 compared with 103, 104. Now, with the always up 45 degree sights, we're looking at 124 grams stabilized versus 71 grams. And then the metal flip up sights, again, I'm getting 104 grams at this point. Okay, you guys, so through the miracle of special effects, I have the front sight and the rear sight now mounted. I'm not going to tell you how I did it. My understanding is YouTube will remove videos if you are modifying or altering firearms or building firearms. So you're just going to have to guess how I screwed it on. Anyway, so this is the front sight mounted, and it looks like it's a one-hand operation to pop it up. It's a little more crunchy than the metal sights that I've got, but not too bad. We'll do it a couple of times here. I think you could probably even put some graphite in there and make it a little bit smoother, but that's satisfactory as far as I'm concerned, and it tucks down nice and neat. I'll show you the other side in just a minute. Here's what the reverse side of the sight looks like. You can see the metal over here, but it clamps on nice and tight. It's got a fairly low profile. I'm satisfied with the fit and finish on the front. And this is the rear sight mounted. Again, it looks like it's a one-hand operation. Just push it with your finger. Confidence is pretty high that it'll pop up. Looks and feels pretty good. It's on there nice and tight. You've got your short range sight, sort of combat distance, and then you got a more precision one here. And again, as I mentioned earlier, they lock into place with some confidence. They feel like they're not going to be loose. And actually, as much as I like the Ozark Mountain, that's one complaint I have, is that the rear peep kind of flops back and forth a little bit too much. One thing, you know, this is mounted, this particular sight, both the front and the rear are mounted on an M5 Aero Precision, which is of course a larger frame gun. So you may have a little bit more, a little less gap in here, depending on your setup, what your, you know, whatever upper receiver you're running. Aero likes to have these sort of, you know, sharp angles on their rifle rather than the smooth edges. So your fit and finish may vary a little bit, but I'm satisfied with this. The Ozark Mountain, I will say to their credit, I won't mount one on here to show you, but the Ozark Mountain gets a little bit more tucked in against the shell deflector, so there's a little bit less gap. I don't think that's going to really affect function. It's just a nice little thing that I noticed. It almost looks like the Ozark Mountain were made for this rifle, so cosmetically they look a little bit better. I don't think you're going to have any brass hitting this though, because you can't really see it on the video, but this protrudes certainly more than this. It would take some sort of unusual JFK maneuver for brass to come flying around and then hit the back there. So I think it's pretty safe. As far as the charging handle, I don't have an extended charging handle on this, so you can see what it would be like if you're just grabbing a regular charging handle. And I don't think it's too bad. I can certainly grab it. That's just my difficulty in pulling it had to do with the spring and the weird angle I'm at, not anything to do with the sight. So you can certainly get your fingers in there. I think if you wanted to, you know, while you're actually out shooting, you could just pop it up if you like, and then that certainly gives you all the room. There's nothing that's in your way now. Well, my review of these sights, I'm going to go with the composites. I think I'm going to run them on all my rifles. I ordered 3 sets. I think I'll probably order more. I've got 6 or 7 ARs that need some backup sights. I don't think I'll leave any of the fixed 45-degree backup sights on anything. I don't competition shoot. I know some guys do, and for guys who are into that, maybe you want to have a set that are permanently up and a little bit on the heavier side. But for me, as backup emergency sights, I'm going all the way with these composites. I think it'd be great. So just to show you, I don't know if you'll be able to read this, but these were $13.19 from Amazon for both front and rear. So that's pretty competitive. I mean, pretty low cost. That's like Wish territory. But again, you can get them from Amazon. Shipping's included if you've got Prime. And they certainly inspire more confidence to me than things that I've seen off of Wish. I haven't ordered a lot of stuff off Wish, but I bought a handguard off there and a set of clone mag pull sights just to see, and they were only fit for airsoft. They were pretty poor quality. So these, good fit and finish, feels like nice nylon, glass-filled plastic, whatever it is, like again that Kel-Tec type plastic, $13.19. I don't know if you can beat that, you guys. That's a pretty good deal. Anyway, I'll include links for all three of the sites down below because I like all of these. I don't think any of them are junk. It's just that, as I mentioned earlier, these are a little bit on the heavy side, a little bit bulky, and if I can shave some weight off of these and get essentially the same style, I'm going to go all in on trying to save a little bit of weight. So the links down below will be affiliate links. I get pennies on the dollar. It's not a big deal, but just to let you know, I think I'm required to disclose that. And any set of these will be good for your rifle, but I really recommend these for the price. I mean, they're really unbelievable.